Okay, so let's look at the contact database, which they call the people contacts. Kind of a weird thing. And as we were talking about in the last video, the people contacts, I'm just going to call it the contacts database, is really a place where you put your contacts into, whether they're people within your organization or people on the outside. And we can use it as like a Rolodex. We can use it as a way of keeping track of what we've done with them, what's transpired between us, almost like a contact management system. Now let me show you where we're going to go to get to it. And down here on the navigation, we can just click on the little silhouette of two people there, click onto that, and that will open up into this. Now the contacts or records that you see there are ones that we had put in from the last video. And normally the view that you'll have isn't this what they call a business card view. It's more like the people view, like that. So you can click on each one of these and you can actually then see the content, see the information about them. I prefer, I mean, that's okay, but I kind of prefer this look, which is the business card look. And I can kind of point to one of them, double click it, and I can open up and see, what I've got. So again, the major reason for having this is so that we can keep track of people that are outside of our organization. But what we did from the last video, we had taken people that were within our organization that were in the global address book, and we copied them into here. And one of the reasons why I did that was because I intend on kind of working with these people and, keeping track of things that I've said to them, keep track of things that transpired at meetings and so forth. And what I can do is I can, open up one of these, and down here in the notes area, I can go ahead and I can click on an insert, go over here to date and time, just use the standard date there, hit OK. And what I've done here is now I've put in a date stamp, and I can put a note in as to what transpired when the last time I talked with student D, that type of thing, right? I mean, that's the main reason why I would have put somebody from my organization into here, right? Otherwise, the other reason that you probably want to put contacts into here would be people from the outside, people that are not in your global address book, so that you have their email address that you can email them from time to time. All right, so let's talk about putting people into this. All right, so let's say we want to put a new contact in. All right, so how do we go about doing that? Well, while we're in here, we could probably go over to the home tab here. You'll see new contact. You click onto that and you get a nice little contact window here, little form. And at minimum, we'd probably want to put in their name. So I'll go up to the top here. I'll type in a person here. We'll do Emil Rose. All right. I can put his company. Maybe it's Acme Systems. And it just so happens that he is the president. All right. And then down here on the email area here, this is where you actually type in the email address. So we type in something like Emil Rose at, let's say, gmail.com. Pretty easy to do. All right. This is actually me. I'm just making something up here. All right. So I might go ahead and put the address in, or the business phone number in here. So what's really neat is I can just type in 312-867-5309. There we go. Not bad. I can put in an address on here. I can say, 200 East Front Street, let's say. Oh, can't even type here. And we'll put in there, we'll put, oh, can't even type. All right, something like that. And if you had, some information that you want to put about Emil, so let's say I'm sitting there and go, well, I maybe put some information about how he came about coming into my, database here. So I'll go back here to insert. I'll click on to date and time. Go there, hit OK. All right. And then I'll just put, that information in there. Okay. You can see I have no patience for typing. All right. So once we've done all that, I can go back to contact, go back to the save and close. And now it's saved, and there it is. You can even go back in there and get a picture. All right. So I'll just go back there real quick. Click on it here. I don't have any pictures. Oh, here's my dad. We'll just do this one. All right. There we go. I'll go ahead and save it. And there you go. So pretty cool stuff. Now, another way we can get an address is by actually going to one of our emails that might have been sent from somebody that we'd like to add to our database. So what we can do here is go back over to here, and I'll take this one here. So I'll just open this one up here. All right. So in this case now what we'll do is I go over here and I click onto her name there, do a right click on it, and then I just go over here to add to Outlook contacts. And that's it. And then what it does, it brings me to a contact screen here. I can fill it in with any additional information I need. I'm not going to put anything more in here, but that's all I need to do. And then hit save and close, and that's it. So now, go back into my database there. Now you'll see Andres there. A third way of putting somebody in would maybe be to import the name. So in other words, let's say you have a worksheet that's just full of all kinds of names and email addresses that you'd like to add to this. Now, this isn't too unimaginable because a lot of times people will use a worksheet to keep track of all the people that they work with. Many of them haven't realized that they can actually use this program to do that instead and have a lot more capabilities. So let me show you what this is all about. I'm going to kind of move this over just a little bit. This file right here, this is what we call a CV or CSV file formatted set of data. It pretty much looks almost like an Excel icon. But a lot of times when people maybe are downloading data, names and so forth, maybe from another database or from an accounting system or whatever happens to be, what they'll want to do is download it or save it as I said, a CSV formatted type file, and that's what you see right here. Now, if I go ahead and I'm just going to open it up so you can see what it looks like. I'll just double click it there. All right, so this is it here. It's pretty much just a row after row of different names. I got about 4 names here. We got the field names at the top there. So what you'd have to do is have something like this set up, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and close it up now. All right. So how do we go about bringing that in? How do we import it into here? So what you'll do is you'll click on the File over here. We'll click on to Open Export, and then we'll tell it that we want to import export here. And we're going to import from another program or file. Hit Next. And as you can see, not much choice here. Okay, so here's your CSV or your comma separated values type file. So we click onto that. Hit Next. In this case, we could probably bring it in and say, do not import duplicates. All right. So that'd be fine. It doesn't really matter with so few that we have there. And then we'll go ahead and hit Next. And then it wants to know where we want to bring them in at. In this case, we're going to bring them into contact. So there we go there. Hit Next. And now here's the trick. What you need to do is, and sometimes this will be dechecked, but if it is, check it. And then what you want to do is you want to do Map Custom Field. So you click onto that. And now what you see on the left is the data that we have in our in that little worksheet or that CSV file that you were just seeing. What we need to do is we need to match up those fields of information with the fields that we have in Outlook here. Okay, It's pretty easy to do. What you'll do, I mean, and some of it might already be done for you, except in this case, for the name, what we'll do is we'll just click onto that. And as you can see, it's already got something in there. It's got the first name, it's got the first and last in here. So what we're going to do here is we'll take the first and drag it over here to first name. All right. And then we'll bring the last in there just like that. All right. And then for the address, we'll go down a little bit further here. And we'll just use the business address. So in this case, we'll take address. Just put like right there. Okay. And then as far as the city, let's scroll down a little bit here. Bring the city to there. Oh, go down a little bit more. So there's your city. Here's our state. There's our zip code. And then a little bit further down, we'll have the phones. So in this case, we'll go with the, I think we had business phone up there. So we got the business phone here. So we'll take phone and drag that right to there. And it already had the phone name there, but we'll just do it anyway. And then, of course, we'll get the email address, which I think was up a little bit there. There we go. So on the email, we'll just take this email here and drag it to there, just like that. And that's it. So what you're doing is you're mapping your fields to match up. If I didn't do that, the fields would be thrown all over the place. God knows where they'd be. Or it might not have even brought anything in, you know, so you got to do that. So then you go ahead and hit OK. There we go. Hit finish. And there we go. So we end up getting Susan, we got Lorraine, we got Beavis, and so forth. So, and I think that's it. So, pretty good. Now, as you can see, I have additional contact databases here that I'm using personally. So what I did is I kind of moved off all my stuff, regular stuff, off of here, and I put a lot of it into here. But my point is that you can have as many of these contact bases as you'd like. So if you'd like to maybe create a second one, all you really have to do is you just kind of point to what you already have, right-click it, tell it that you want to do a new folder, right? And I'll just call this one X, Y, Z here. Enter that in, and there's X, Y, Z. And if I click onto it, then I can actually see nothing because we just created it. Now if I go back to contacts here, I can actually take one of these and kind of move it by just dragging it from here to this one. Almost like if you're working with email, right, with folders and stuff. Let go, moves it in there. So now if I click over here, there it is. And I'm just going to change that to the business card view as well. So there it is. The other way we could have done it was if I wanted it in both places, what I should have done, and I'll just do it from here, is I'll point to here, hold down the right mouse button, okay, drag it over to contacts like this, let go, and tell it that I just want to make a copy. So now not only is it here, but now it's also there as well. Now, as I was saying earlier, the reason why I like to keep people in my contacts database, whether they're inside people or outside, you know, customers, prospects, that type of thing, one of the main reasons why I like that is because I can perform, I guess, CRM type operations or customer relationship management type, you know, features to this. And to give you an example, and I kind of did this a little bit already, but let's say I go over here to student D and open that up. Now I've already put in a note as to the last thing that we kind of talked about. And I come back in here again, and I've got some other information I want to put in. So I'll go to the beginning there, enter it a couple times, and then I'll hit my up arrow key a few times and put it back up. Then I'll go back into insert. I'll go over here to date and time, and there's my date. I'll just go ahead and hit OK. hit enter, and then I can put in another note that I'm thinking about. So that's one thing I can do. All right. The other thing that I can do on here is if I go back to contact, you'll see that we have something here called follow-up. All right. So what I can do is I can set up a date and time that I need maybe to call this person, okay, part of my routine. So I can go here to follow up and say that I want to set up a custom follow-up date. So I'll go ahead and click onto here, all right, and I'll specify, let's say maybe I'll go with, let's say the 12th, something like that. And then I'll go ahead and hit OK. Oh, actually, I'll do one more thing. I'll also set up a reminder for maybe April 11th, and I already got it set for that, anytime after, let's say, 11 o'clock. So what happens is a little window will pop up on April 11th reminding me that I need to call or do something with this particular contact. So I'll hit OK on that, all right? And then once I've done that, I'll go ahead and hit save and close. Now, if I go over to my calendar, okay, and I go and I find April 12th, I get over to that range there. I kind of scroll over to April 12th here, and you will see, there it is, all right? Now, if you happen to see that on the calendar, you can go ahead and double click it and say, oh, okay, that's right, I needed to call him regarding blah, 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 or whatever, you know, you read here, and kind of go from there. The other thing you can do too is you can go back into mail, and if you go back into your view, go back to your to-do bar and tell it that you want to see your tasks. There you go, and you'll see it there as well. And you can double click it, and you can see the same contact screen there as well. And then at some point you're done, so you can go ahead and kind of close it, get rid of this by just clicking on the flag, and all of it's gone, and that's it. What you can also do with your contacts is assign them different categories. All right, so you might have certain ones that might be, let's say, colleagues, or they might be customers, they might be vendors, prospects, whatever, friends, bowling buddies, golf buddies, who knows. So how would you assign something like that, a category? So really what it comes down to is you've got your categories up here, and we have the ones that we created from a number of videos ago there. What we can do is we can go here and click on all categories, and maybe take a few of these. So maybe take, I don't know, we'll maybe create a new one here. We'll go new on that one. We'll call this one maybe vendors, and we'll give that a color, maybe yellow, and then hit OK on that one. We can do another, do another new one there. Maybe we'll call this one customer. Pick a color. Oh, all right, we got a customer. So I guess we'll leave it. We got a customer already. So, all right, so there it is. So what we can do on this is, while we're here, we can just actually just click on the customer there, hit OK, and then what we'll do is we'll give it a different color. There we go. And maybe just go maybe over here to this one here. Now what we can do here is we're just going to do a right click on that, go to categorize, all right, and we can say, okay, we want that to be a vendor, okay? So on that one, and then maybe over here, we'll categorize that and make that a customer. Now once you've applied a few categories to some of your contacts, what you can do is kind of change your view here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click onto the View tab here, and then we're going to go over here to change our view, and we're going to go to the list. All right, and you can see, not too visible here at the beginning, but you can see off to the right hand side we've got our categories as far as being the last field there. Now what we can do is we can actually take this and move it over maybe about right here, let go, and then I'll kind of pull over a little bit more and bring it over maybe as far as here, right? And then once we've done that, we can then click onto the heading right here for categories and hit it. We'll just do it twice there. That way we put them at the top. So here's all your categories and your different contacts kind of grouped into those. Now what we can also do is we'll go back to our original view, back to our business cards here. And what we can do then is go over to the view and then view settings. And we can go down here to the filter, all right? Click onto that. And over here, we go to more choices, go to the categories, and we can tell it, okay, we want to see our, let's say our customer, and we want to see our vendors, let's say, right? Those two. Hit OK on that. They both show up there. And we go ahead and hit OK, and then OK, and then we'll just see those in there. And that way you can kind of narrow it down to just those that, that kind of fill that bill, I guess, right? And to get rid of that, we just go back into view settings, go back into the filter, all right? Go back to more choices, go to the categories, and we just take off the check marks there, hit OK. And we could have also hit clear all too. And then hit OK, now we're back to everybody. Okay, now over and above that, there's another thought here that you can think about. We've got these little headings, these little tabs here, I guess. And what we can do is we can actually change these to where they would have some sort of a general term. It might be something like, well, this is a friend, this is a vendor, this is a prospect, or whatever it happens to be. And the way you could do it that way is by pointing to the, to the contact here, double clicking it, and then going over here where it says file as, and right now it says as student. And what you can do instead is you can go in there and you can say, okay, it's whatever their name is, it's a student A, but I could also instead completely change it and say something like, well, this is I'll just say customer at this point. Something like that, and then I could say, put a hyphen and put student A, something like that, right? Now go ahead and hit save and close, and I'll see customer and student A. And another way to focus on a particular category would be just to type in the category name up in the search. So let's just say, and what I've done is I've applied either a customer or a vendor category to each one of these. And on some of them, I've got them under a couple. So if I look at like student A here, so I've got vendor and customer. So now what I can do is I can go back up to here, type in, let's say, customer, just like that, and there's all my customers, all right? And I can go backspace that out, and then I can type in instead vendor. And I can just type in a few characters of it, and it comes right in there for me. And as you can see, there's student A as well, because they're also a vendor. So pretty neat stuff. I mean, it's, to keep everything kind of organized with your contacts. Okay, so let's say you've got somebody on the outside or inside that needs a couple of your contacts. All right, they need to have them in their machines, and they need you to kind of maybe just share a couple of your contacts with them. How do you do that? Well, what you'll do here is you'll click on, let's say, a couple of them. Let's say maybe this one here, and then hold on your control key and you click on this one here. So you got those two there, all right? Then what you can do is you do a right click on it, on any one of them, and then you go over here to where you can actually forward the contact right here. And if you forward it as a business card, okay, if we click onto that, you'll get that one. It didn't catch. Hang on, let me do this again here. I might not be able to do two at the same time here. Got that one. No, it's not letting me do it. All right, sorry about that. All right, so we'll just do one right now. So we'll click on this one here, right-click it, forward as a business card, and that's what you're going to get. You send it off on this way, and just so you know, when they get it at their end, if they want to put that contact into their database, all they have to do is just kind of point to this guy right here when they're looking at their end, and just drag it over to here, and it will automatically go into their contacts folder there, or contact database. That's pretty cool. And the only difference between that one and if you were just to do a right click, forward it, and say I want to do it as a contact, then you just get this part here. So the other one is good if it's maybe you're sending it to somebody who does not have Outlook, right? At least they'll get the business card and be able to see it that way. All right, so let's close that up. That's kind of bothered me. I wasn't able to get the other one selected. I'm going to try this again. I'm going to click onto here, all right? Control key, click onto here. Okay, there, now it's selecting. So now it's working. So I have no idea. But anyway, I got 3 selected there. Right click it, forward. There they are. All right, so, all right. I thought I was going crazy there. Another thing too is if you have somebody within your organization that says, you know what, it'd be really nice if I could have access to your contacts, and that's okay. So what we can do is we can actually share our contacts and share them in such a way where they can't make any changes to them at their end, but they'll still be able to have they'll see a folder, they'll be able to click on the folder that's yours, and they'll be able to display everything, they'll be able to open it up, they'll be able to look at them, do whatever they want to do there. They just won't be able to edit them. All right. I mean, you can also set up so where they can, but the main thing is that initially when you go to share, it does it as a kind of a read-only kind of thing. So how would you do this? So let's just say that I don't know, let's say student B made that request, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send him an email with a little button that they can click onto, and that will then bring that folder into his folder list of contacts here, and he'll see it like right there, and you can click onto it and then see what's going on. So how do you do this? Well, what you'll do is you'll go to the folder that you want to share. So I'm gonna go to my contacts folder here. I'm going to do a right click on it, go down to where it says share, and then share contacts, just like that. Then up at the top here, I'll click on my 2. I will double click on to student B there. So there's student B, hit OK, and then I'm just going to hit send. And it tells me it's going to be a read-only. I say yes, and off it goes. So student B at his end would open that email, and there's going to be a button that says click here to open up the contact folder. Now, you can't see that, so what I did now is I had student B share his contacts with me. All right, so, and he's sent out the email, so I'm going to go back to my email here. All right, there's student B, and he's doing a sharing invitation. I double click it, and so he's letting me know that he's sharing his contacts with me, and I can go ahead and open this contacts folder. So I just click onto that, and that's it. All right, now once I've done that, I'll just go ahead and close that up, and then when I go back into my contacts area, which I'm already at now, there's student B, and there's student B's contacts, just like that. Now, if later on student B adds any new contacts, I'm going to see them almost immediately. So watch what happens here. It'll take a few seconds here, but there it goes, see? So he just added Brad Pitt to his database, which of course then shows up here because I'm displaying his contact database. Now remember, student B has shared his contacts as a read-only, which means I can go ahead and I can open up a contact like this. I can see what's going on and everything, but I'm not going to be able to go in there and make any changes. I won't be able to go here and delete something like that and then save it. It won't let me do that. So it's pretty neat there. All right. Oop, there we go. Okay. And student B is going to have the same problem at his end. Now, if I want to give student B more access, more freedom, what I can do is I can go to here, to my contacts, do a right click on that, go down here to either folder permissions or go to properties. Either one will take me there, but I'll just go here to folder permissions. All right. And as you can see, student B is just a reviewer. Now, if I want student B to be able to maybe add new items to the database, I'll let him create new items. If I want to let him also maybe delete, then I can go ahead and hit all over here and so forth. So, and then once I've done all that, I can just go ahead and hit OK. And now it's changed. So now student B can actually make changes and add to this. Okay, so I know this video was rather long, but we had quite a bit of stuff to talk about. So I hope you appreciate I appreciate you watching the video and hope you enjoyed it. Take care.